Garden of Eden, yeah? If you know the name of the Garden of Eden, do you know exactly where it is? Or do you believe that it actually existed? Do you believe that it existed, um, Derek? Or it's just a story that someone made up? Do you think it's just a story that someone made up? You can be honest. Huh? No. How do you know that it's not a story that's just made up? If I ask you, oh, maybe it's just a made up story, then how do you prove to other people? That's what we're going to learn today. So, yes, they live in a place called Garden of Eden. It's a really beautiful place. But we have to find out and prove that it actually existed, yeah? Do you remember where it is on the earth? Canyon? So in a Garden of Eden, it's probably looked like that back then, yeah? It's a beautiful garden. It's a lot of trees and animals. But you have to find out where that evidence is. And in the Bible, it tells us the landmarks. You know what landmarks is? What is landmark? Yeah. So landmark is, for example, like this, yeah? Drew. So if your friend asks you, Drew, do you go to church? What do you tell him? Where's your church, Drew? Where's your church? So then this is what you tell them, yeah? So you tell your friend, look for Farrington High School. Where's Farrington High School? Do you know where Farrington High School is? And over here, where is Farrington High School? See that high school right across the road? Yeah, that's Farrington High School. Okay? And then where's the restaurant? Do you know a restaurant around here? Yeah, the one next door is a restaurant, yeah? Do you know where the car dealership is? No, this way. Yeah, Honda. So you tell them, so what do you tell them, Drew? Where our church is? Okay. And that's where our church is, yeah? And in the same way, the Bible tells us where Garden of Eden was by giving us these landmarks, yeah? And those landmarks are the river. So remember the name of the rivers before? Okay, let's read the first one together. Genesis chapter 2, verse 10. Now a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it parted and became 4 riverheads. The name of the first is Pishon, yeah, or Pishon. Next, we're going to find out the name of the other rivers, okay? Drew, can you read the first sentence? Gihon. Okay, so we learned about the first river named Pishon. And what's the second one? Gihon. Okay. Second sentence, Dylan. Hiddekel. Assyria. Yeah. So it actually tells us here where those river is, like where it is near. Okay. And those places, Cush and Assyria, we know where it is on the map. Okay. Okay. So what's the name of the first river? And then the second river? Gihon. And the third one? Hiddekel or Tigris. Okay. Last sentence. Eva. Euphrates. Okay. So what are the 4 rivers again? Let's start with Derek. Pishon. All right. Juha. Second river, Gihon. Okay. Third river, Kayla. He the or Tigris, correct? And the last one, Dylan, start with letter E. Do you know how to spell it? Euphrates. Yep. Okay, go. So let's actually find out. This is the map, okay? Do you know where this place is? This is the Middle East, okay? This is the Middle East. This is Egypt. You heard of Egypt before? Yeah. And if you go more up, this is Israel, yeah? And if you go more down here, have you heard of the country Iraq? Yeah, everybody heard about this country Iraq before. And you see these blue things here? These blue lines? Those are the rivers, yeah? And actually, how many rivers do you see there? So that's the first one, yeah? And it's the second river right there. So the first one, so that one is called, can you see that? It's Euphrates, right? Is it in the Bible? Yeah, that's the fourth river, yeah? What about Tigris? The third one. And but the problem is that where's the other two rivers? How many rivers does the Bible mention? How many rivers does the Bible mention? 4, right? But how many do you see there? So it means the Bible is wrong? No? Why do you say that? What do you remember? They got, yeah. So this area is called Mesopotamia. In Greek language, meso means between, yeah? And potamos is rivers. So between rivers, yeah? That's how they got the name. Now let's find out where those other two rivers then. So if you can see today, you can still see Tigris River, yeah? It looks like that. It's big. And there's the Euphrates River, still there. You see that? So what is this area called? Mesopotamia. Now let's find out where the other rivers are. So they've recently found out the other two rivers using a space shuttle satellite where they did an X-ray or imaging, and it shows there. It's kind of hard to see, but it shows the other two rivers that you cannot see right now, but it was there. And why is this finding important? Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it tells us that the Bible is actually true, right? It's not lying, it's true. That there are actually 4 rivers, okay? And in that area, you see, what do you see there? You see people, right? With animals. It means that it's not just a desert. Right now, it's just desert, right? But back then, there's a lot of animals and people living there. So that means that there were actually people there back then, yep? And what do you see there? That looks like a what? A boat, yeah. But right now, it's a desert, right? But if there's a boat back then what about the other one? But that means there's rivers out there too. So back then, this shows that it's not just a desert, right? That there's a river back then. That's why they're using the boat. So this is just a picture of a video. So if you take out all those sands, yeah, and this will reveal the old Garden of Eden. So in addition to those 2 rivers, you can actually see the other 2 rivers that's buried under under the desert, the Pishon and Gihon. And then it says they will meet together, and from there there was the Garden of Eden. But what happened to the Garden of Eden? Let's read it together. Yet you shall be brought down with the trees of Eden to the depths of the earth. So the Garden of Eden right now is under the earth, right? And how do we know it is under the earth? Let's find out together the evidence. So what happened to the animals and the plants buried underground? Turn to oil, yeah? Let's see how they... You guys use olive oil at home? Yeah? Do you know how they're made? Let's find out together how they're made, okay? Yep. So imagine those are all the animals and the plants, yeah? In the Garden of Eden, being crushed under the ground. It's a lot of work, yeah? Just better to buy the actual olive oil. Do you guys like olive oil? I never tried it. Tastes good. So what are they adding right now? Heat, yeah? So for men, it takes a long time, right? So for many, many years, those plants and animals are being crushed down underground. And then they will filter the olive oil. Oh, what happened? Okay, but anyways, it shows the final product is that they squeeze the olive oil and it releases the oil. So in the same way, so those are all the things that were in the Garden of Eden, and then they were buried underground, which is true. The Bible is true, right? And then from there we get oil. So have you been to the gas station? Yeah? What do your parents put in the car? Yeah. Petroleum, yeah? So we're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, right? Do you think it came from Hawaii? Where did it come from? Drew, do you know where it came from? No? Is it from the Big Island? No. Where is it from, Dylan? Underground, but from where? Do you know? So all that we're using for the car, or even this electricity, do you know how this electricity or these lights are being produced? Yeah. So all of these things that we have, even the light, come from the oil. And that oil came all the way from this area, yeah? The Middle East. And what's interesting about this place? Where was it? What was located there before? Drew? The Garden of Eden, yeah? Do you think the Bible is lying? No, the Bible is true, yeah? So let's learn more about the Garden of Eden. So let's go back to Garden of Eden and imagine the place. And in that place, there were two trees. What is the first tree called, Hum? Tree of life. And the second one? Yes, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's a long name. And in that garden, so who live in that garden again? Derek? Who live in that garden? Adam and Eve. And then while they're in the garden, do you remember what God told them not to do? What did God tell them not to do, Dylan? which tree? The one in the red one, yeah? That's correct. Tell them, God told them, you can eat anything in the garden except for this one tree. Don't eat that fruit, from the fruit from that tree. But let's see what they did, yeah? Okay.
The first sin. The first man and woman, Adam and Eve, lived in a beautiful garden that God made for them. But Satan came as a crafty serpent and tempted Adam and Eve.
Did God say you must not eat the fruit from these trees?
The serpent asked Eve. Just the tree in the middle, Eve replied. If we eat from it, we'll die.
You won't die,
said the serpent.
There's a reason why God doesn't want you to eat from that tree. If you do, you'll be like him. You'll know what he knows.
Eve ate the fruit. She gave some to Adam, who was with her. He ate it too. And at once, they knew things they had never known before. One thing they knew was that they were naked. They sewed leaves together to cover themselves. They'd never felt fear or shame before, so they knew something was wrong. Adam, God called. Eve. We're hiding, said Adam. We're naked. You know that because you ate from the tree, God sighed. Then Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the serpent. God said, Serpent, you must crawl on your belly. A woman's son will defeat you. Eve.
So what's the moral of that story? Yes. So God told them not to eat it, but what did they do? They did the opposite, right? They went and ate the fruit. So they disobeyed God, and something bad happened to them, yeah? God scolded them, like, why did you eat the fruit? I told you not to eat the fruit. And then what did the serpent tell Eve? He was like, no, trust me, you won't die. If you eat it, you will be like God. And Eve was like, oh yeah? Okay, let me try. So she ate the fruit first, right? And then later, he gave it to Adam. And Adam also ate it, right? And both of them died. But they did not die physically, right? They died spiritually. So what does it mean by that they died spiritually? So who's the first people that committed sin? Adam, right? Adam and Eve. So through Adam, remember that, yeah? Adam is the first sinner. Okay? So Adam ate the fruit and he became the first sinner. And do you remember who you're descended from? Drew. What's the name of your parents? What's your dad's name? Albert. Your mom's name? Emily. What's the name of your grandfather on your dad's side? Do you know? You don't know? What about your mom's side? James, that's his name? Okay, and then James, what is the name of his dad? Huh? You don't know? Do you know, Drew? And then James' dad's dad, what's their name? What is their name, Derek? If you go, what about dad, all the way back? Who is that first? Adam, right? So it means that Adam is your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, yeah. So Drew, are you from Adam? No? You from somewhere else? Are you from the universe, other planets? Derek, are you from other planet or are you from Adam? Adam? Are you sure? You believe that? And then there's something wrong. If you're from Adam, he committed sin, right? He made a sinner. Does it mean that it came down to you as well? What about to you, Drew? Adam was your grandfather, great-great-great-great-grandfather? Dylan, is Adam your great-great, many great-grandfather? And what did your great-great-great-grandfather do? What sin is that? Disobedience, right? By eating the apple. And then, why is that a problem? Why is that a problem? And then, pass down to you, right? Did it pass down to you too, Drew? Or it got disconnected somehow? There's no way, yeah? Who's your great-great-grandfather? He's your many great-grandfather. Is Adam your grandpa many years ago? Yeah? Then what did you get from him? He committed the sin, yeah? Yep. Is it only them? What about you guys? Everyone, right? Including me. So when it says that their spirit is dead, it means that their relationship with God through spirit is dead. So each of you has a spirit, right, inside you. Okay? But then after that, what will happen? Do you think you're going to live forever and ever on earth? All of us will have to, is going to die one day, yeah? But do you know where you're going? Yeah, you're going to face God, okay? So they were ashamed when they disobeyed God. So that's your many great-grandfather, okay? Adam, our grandfather. So he was asking where they are. So again, this is very important, yeah? Disobedience or sin, you get punishment or judgment, okay? And that judgment is going to hell. Okay, let's summarize again. So how do we know if the Bible is true? What's the first evidence, Drew? The Garden of Eden, yeah? How do you know the Garden of Eden existed? Derek, how do you know if the Garden of Eden existed? What do you see when you go to the gas station? All right, and that all the way came from? At what place? Right now? Middle East, right? And that in that area used to be the Garden of Eden, but that Garden of Eden is where right now? We got buried, right? And how can you locate that Garden of Eden? Just how you can locate our church. You tell them, oh, it's by Farrington High School. It's next to the car dealership. How do you tell? Yeah, it's near those river, okay? If the Bible doesn't tell us where those river is, can you locate Mesopotamia? It's kind of hard, right? But the Bible is true, yeah? So, Adam and Eve, they multiplied, right? And as more people existed, there's more and more sins that they committed. So there were sins everywhere. So what did God say? What did God do? Let's read together. Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of the man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil. So back then, just like today, they were also mean and disobedient. So what did God do? Derek, can you read this for us? Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. From the face of the earth. Yeah. So he appointed Noah. You've heard of Noah before? I mean, we have our Noah here, but we have our original Noah too. This is an original Noah. So what did God tell him to do? Build an ark, right? And in the Bible, it actually tells us the actual size of the ark. So you see that? Football field, it's so big. So you see that a football field across the road? Just imagine that, but it's even a little bit way bigger than that. And it was able to feed a lot of animals, yeah? Okay. So they covered it with some material so that the water cannot go into the ship. Okay. So Noah was telling the people. What did the people, Noah tell the people? Juha? Go in the ark, right? But how did they respond to him? Yeah, they couldn't believe him, right? They did not believe in him. But then back then, the animals, in pairs, right? They entered the ark. It's amazing, yeah? Like, even in pairs of animal, they enter the ark. Only God can do that. So those are the animals, yeah? See that? They went in pairs, yeah, and they entered the ark. Can you tell those animals to go into the ark? No, right? They'll be like, they'll run away. But they listen to God, yeah? Because in the end, who created them? God, right? So and then it rained. And then they finally like, oh, Noah was telling the truth. We should have listened to Noah. But then it was too late. So this is the flood, yeah?
It's no use, it won't budge.
Great! Now we are locked in a giant boat with hundreds of soon-to-be smelly animals, and still not a drop of rain to be seen.
What is that?
There it is.
Everyone! Make sure the animals are secure!
Yes, go! Whoa, securing animals, right!
Now it begins.
Do you think you want to be in that event? No, right? It's kind of scary. So after the flood, it rested on the Mount Ararat. So again, let's find out if the Noah's Ark is actually true. Is there actually you can see the Noah's Ark? Let's find out. Okay, so can you see Turkey? It's Turkey, yeah? So if you go on that side, you actually see Mount Ararat. Is Mount Ararat true? Yes. That's mountains of Ararat, yeah? And in one country called Armenia, their coat of arms, you see that in the center? What's on top of it? The ark, right? And you see the two mountains of Ararat. But is that is that enough evidence? Let's look at more evidence. So some Christians actually climbed into Mount Ararat. It's very cold, right? But they still did it. And they found out these wooden things there. So that's the inside, yeah, of this wooden thing. And they found some food or seeds, right? That they probably used. And what's interesting about the wood? So those woods you cannot actually find it in that place. It came from somewhere else. So that means that thing came from other place, which probably floated and floated until it ended up in the mountains of Ararat. Those are the evidence that the Noah's Ark is actually true. Okay, so if you see evidence there, then the Bible is telling us what's the evidence. Then how can we? Then that tells us that the Bible is true, right? It's not lying. And where did those water come from? The Bible tells us, right? Came from the ground. Not just from the ground, right? It also came from above. And that one is called what? Firmament, yeah? And what's good about that is that it protects us from the sun. But after that, what happened? So back then, right, Adam, he was able to live more than 900 years old, right? Do you think that's true? Yeah, because it had the water layer protection, right? But after see that Noah? After that, the age of people, they died early. Yeah? But back then, the animals are big. See that? See that human there compared to the animal? And what is that guy holding? Yeah, what was that? Do you know what that is? This is the spine, yeah? Look at that, it's so big. What about that one? What is that bone called? This is the same bone over here, right? But it's as big as that human there. So that means that people are back then. And then after the flood, where did those water go? So you see all these fossils, right? So these are all the evidences that the Noah's flood actually happened. So, where did all those water go? Derek? Where did see? So the flood, right? You had the flood, and then all those water receded. So where did all those extra water go? Yes, it turned into iceberg, right? Let's read this verse together. We're almost done. He gathers the waters of the sea together as a heap. Heap means it's a mountain or a pile. So pile them up together, and then it form into iceberg. Have you guys seen an iceberg before? Where can you see icebergs? Yeah, Alaska, those places, right? Norway, those northern countries. Do we have those here? No, right? It's too hot, yeah, it will melt. And so he formed those icebergs. What about the rest, the other water? Where did it go? It says, he lays up the deep in storehouses. Where's that storehouse? Yes, the Mariana Trench. Oh, you remember, yeah? Do you know where the Mariana Trench is then? Somewhere on the earth, right? Somewhere on the earth. It's easy to find. Where's Hawaii? So what ocean is this? Derek, what ocean is this? No, this what ocean is that? Pacific, right? And what's in the middle? Hawaii, yeah. And if you go more towards that side, that's the Mariana Trench. And you see that? So all those extra water got stored down there. And look at that. Mariana Trench. So, you know Mount Everest, right? Mount Everest. That's the tallest mountain in the world, right? But if you put Mount Everest down there, it will fit, right? It's too small. So that means that the Mariana Trench is so deep and so big that it can store all those extra water from Noah's flood, yeah? And again, the Bible is true, yeah? We can show the evidence. You can actually see the evidence. If you want to dive in Mariana Trench, you can go. I never heard about it. I think it's so deep that I think about it. If you go all the way down there, the pressure is so heavy you will die. Robotic? Maybe they did. I don't know. Yeah. We're almost done, Derek. Yeah. So those are the evidence, right? So what's the first thing we learned? Adam and Eve, right? Where did they live? How do you know where it is? The 4 rivers, right? Can you see all the 4 rivers? You can see 2 of them, right? What happened to those trees and animals in the garden? Yeah. So where can you see them? Gas station, right? Those when you compress them, yeah, they turn into gas. And then, who live in the Garden of Eden? Adam and Eve, right? And then they disobeyed God, and that's why he's the first sinner, right? And how are you related to Adam? He's the first man. He's our many great grandfather. And what happened because of that? We inherited his sin, right? So each one of you is a sinner. Yeah, we learned that more later. And that sin multiplied, right? And because there's so many sin, what did God send? Flood. And then he appointed Noah, right, to build the ark. And you can see from the evidence, yeah, about the Noah's ark. And then the water receded and it went where? The water receded and it went where? Became like iceberg, and also went to the trench, right? Those are all evidence. It says in the Bible. So since you can see all the evidence, it means that the Bible is true, yeah? Do you believe that? Yep. Again, this is a summary, okay? So all of this story in the Bible is true, which means that the Bible is true, okay? All right, let's end with a prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you again for this lesson about the Garden of Eden and Noah's Ark and the flood. We thank you for giving us the wisdom and also opening the hearts of these students to see the evidence. And through this evidence, we can prove that the Bible is true and everything in the Bible is true. Continue to be with us and continue to help them listen until the end. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. All right, let's take a break, okay?